Okay, question 4. So let's go through the problem-solving strategies that we're going to incorporate when we're doing these type of questions. And again, just write on your sheet like that. If you're doing them online, you're just going to have a separate sheet of paper and just write some of those kind of key points to help you navigate through these type of questions. So it says the dominant allele T codes for the ability to taste this particular compound, PTC. Okay, so that's dominant. If you can taste, that is a dominant trait. Now remember with these type of questions, we never want to use the dominant calculations. We're always going to use the recessive, and we'll show you why in this question. People who are homozygous recessive are unable to taste PTC. So if you can't taste, that's the recessive trait. Okay, that's the value we want to use here. Now, in a genetics class of 125 students, so there's the total. Let's just write some of this stuff down. 85 students can taste PTC, and 37 cannot. Now, they're giving you both here. What they're trying to see is if you're going to bite on the people that can taste. Now, we just said when we're doing these type of questions where they give you the frequency of the genotype, the only genotype we want to be able to use is the recessive one, the ones that can't taste. So this is the only number we're really interested in, the 37 that cannot. That's going to be the Q squared value. Now, 37 is just the total number of individuals that can't. We still have to determine the frequency by taking the 37, dividing it over the total in the study, which is 125 students. Now, when we do that, Q squared, again, just calculate that out with your calculator. So if you do that figure quickly, you'll see you come up with 0.296. Now there's a couple other decimal places there, but we'll keep it to that. So let's just write that value down here. Q squared equals 0.296. Now, I just really quickly want to spend some time why we wouldn't look at this 85. This is just kind of a calculation that they put in there just to throw you off. And they can be tricky sometimes that way. But the reason we don't use the 85 students is because if they can taste, tasters can either be homodom, right, which is the which would be Q squared, but also the heteros guys would be able to taste as well, the 2PQ guys, because again, the dominant allele will mask the expression of the recessive, and these both would be able to taste PTC. So you can see that the 80, with the 80, I can't even see what that is now, 83 or 85, whatever it is, with those number of students, we still can't determine which ones are homodom and which ones are hetero, because all of them together would be able to taste that. So this is why we never use the dominant trait when we're using these calculations. When we do look at the 37 that can't, we know that's the recessive, and that can only be Q squared. To be recessive, you have to have both your alleles being recessive alleles, in this case, Q squared. That's why in these type of questions, we must always use the recessive trait. Okay, so once we do that, now it's very easy. Once we have Q squared, we want to find a single Q so we can go find P. So, to find Q, we're going to use the square root of that answer. Okay, and when we do that, we come up with 0, so Q now being 0.50. Okay, now I'm putting the, well, actually they just want how many decimal places here? 1 decimal place, so we'll just drop that 0 and 0.5. Okay, once we have Q, very easy to go find P. We just go 1 minus Q, 0.5, and P now is going to be also 0.5. So once we have Q, once we have P, I think that's all they're asking for us. They're saying calculate the expectant frequency of the T. Dominant T would be represented by P in our formula. And the little t, which would be the recessive allele, and that's shown in our formula as Q. So P and Q, we found that. If you have any questions about that, again, the tricky part of that is they're giving you the number of students that can both taste which we're not interested because that's a dominant trait, and the ones that can't taste, the 37, which is the recessive trait in this case, who can't taste that particular chemical. So that's why, again, there's a bit of a distractor here, but if you have any questions about that, and you will see questions like this again, and we'll do a few more together, just let me know if you have any issues with that, and we can rectify that. So just give me an email if you have any problems. Thanks, guys.